Hi, Happy New Year, and welcome to All Things Cozy with Matt.
And Gillian.
We are a bi weekly podcast about everything that is warm, soft, and comforting. Today, for the 8th year in a row, we are rolling out the red carpet for the Cozy Awards, where we'll honor the coziest movies, TV shows, songs, books, news stories, and all things cozy community member contributions of 2024. Before we pop the sparkling apple cider and toast the people and things that helped us stay cozy in 2024, let's catch up on our holidays over a cup of tea. Gillian, Happy New Year. What are you sipping to ring in 2025?
Happy New Year, Matt. I am sipping on O Organics Peach Oolong Tea.
Oh, are you?
Yes, I got it for $3.99. I have to admit, I got it from the grocery store. I need to do a proper tea shopping in 2025. That's my goal. But I also want to spotlight the grocery store teas because they deserve their due. And this one deserves its due because it had a wonderful taste. It was bright, definitely got that peach flavor. I bought it because I never had peach tea before, at least not a warm tea. I've had iced before. And it had a wonderful kick to it. I was afraid it was gonna be a little bit too faint, but it even had an aftertaste of peach. So this tea was just peachy keen for me.
Did it feel very sweet or was it smooth?
No, it really tasted as if I was drinking peach water, which made it sound so
That does sound
appetizing.
kind of lovely, actually. Warm
Yeah.
peach water.
It was wonderful, but it also got me thinking, am I drinking tea raw? Does everyone put milk in their tea? Because lately, even if I enjoy the taste, I don't enjoy the experience of drinking tea because it just feels like I'm drinking warm water that has a little bit of a flavor. So I was thinking if I added milk, maybe it would be more of an experience.
We're reviewing the tea, so I get that we don't wanna add things to it that could muddle the experience of the flavor of the tea. I definitely like to drink tea black typically, except when it comes to some black teas where I do a little bit of a plant-based milk or maybe some honey sometimes. I love honey in tea. You're right, like, sometimes it is a little bit either bland or too strong, and it could be nice to cut it with something else. But I do feel like, yeah, for the sake of the segment, we're always going into it just the pure, unadulterated tea.
Yeah, doing it raw.
That's
And
right.
sorry, I had to bring it back. But sometimes it tastes like a cup of depression, just warm water. Also, too, I have to give you your tea and shout out to Andrea for sending us a lovely Christmas tea. We haven't seen each other, Matt, since before the holidays, but Andrea sent us in the mail lovely Christmas tea, and that was a high quality tea. And that wasn't a cup of depression. It was nice.
One day I'll know the flavor of that.
Yes, yes. Well, that's more reason to get together, not that our friendship hinges on a bag of tea.
Well, while you're drinking your peach water, what were some highlights for you over the holidays?
Getting to spend time with my nephews, and it's really cozy having a house that's loud again. Sometimes it was too loud for me. You know, you're in this period after you've grown up and things are quiet and your siblings maybe don't have kids yet, or you have nieces or nephews or from your partner, whoever it might be. And it's quiet. And so to have a loud house again and have kids opening presents on Christmas and watching them do it, it's a really fun experience. And my nephew Finbar loves to pretend cook, so he got a kitchen and an apron, and it was really cute. But I got sick, and Matt, I know you were also ill as well. So on Christmas, I was in bed just listening to the sounds of people enjoying their time, and there's no leftover soup for me.
That's very cozy, the sounds of the holidays being enjoyed by other people.
Right. So that was, yeah, it was nice to see everyone enjoying themselves, that genuinely. And then we got a dog. So I don't wanna talk all about
Way to
myself.
bury the lead.
Yeah. It was unexpected. A family member had to rehome the dog, so we took in Canella. That's her name. It's Spanish for cinnamon because she has a cinnamon coat, brown and white. It's really cute. She's an Aussie and apparently that's the most energetic breed. I was like, "Oh, perfect,"
Right
'cause
up your alley.
yeah, my partner and I, we're so bursting with energy all the time. So, it's been cozy getting to spend time in the backyard with her on a leash because we have coyotes, and so we just run back and forth our small swatch of grass, our backyard, and
From the
on our
coyotes while
breaks.
they're chasing her or
We're both out
without the
running the
coyotes there?
coyotes. So, getting outside and having an excuse too, and just seeing how happy Canella is. She likes to roll in the grass and tear at the grass, and she just is a big oaf, and I think that's really cute.
She has the most beautiful, piercing blue eyes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I can't say I contributed any, but I'll say thank you. Yeah, it's
She
very
has your
cute.
eyes, Jillian.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's unplanned. It was an accident.
Don't let Canella hear you say that.
It's wonderful, but I've been talking too much about myself. How was your break?
Well, my break,
Oh, what you're
not as
sipping on,
exciting.
sorry.
I'll get to that. We can talk about my break first, that's fine. Yeah, no, I can't wait to meet Canella, first of all, and my break is not as exciting as getting a new dog, but on your note of having the holiday spent with family, my in-laws have started this thing where they gather everyone there. I have 10 nieces and nephews, and they put on these, like, do you know, like, viral TikTok reels that are families playing games? Like, it's almost like they're playing beer pong, but it's, can they get into the cup and then they get $100, or like they're doing different kind of wacky things as a family. They started to take those as inspiration and now we do them.
Do you videotape them as well?
Yeah, I think people were taping. I don't because I'm too focused on winning, but other family members are
You're
taping it.
competitive.
And so the games that we played, my favorite might have been one that my sister-in-law contributed, which was like you wrap up like a bunch of Hershey Kisses and lottery scratchers in a crazy ball of plastic wrap. You just keep adding layer after layer, and then you're all standing in a circle and you have oven mitts on, and then someone's rolling dice next to you, and as soon as they get a double, you have to pass it. But until then, you're trying to open and unravel the plastic wrap to get to the prizes, and you get as much as you unravel.
Oh, that's so
And it
fun.
sounds easier than it is. It's really hard to finally get, but then when you're going, Hershey Kisses are flying everywhere, you're getting lottery tickets.
You had me at lottery tickets.
And then sometimes someone just rolls a double right next to you and you're like, your turn was over before it started.
I need
That kind
footage.
of stuff was really fun. The most unhinged one was they attached a steak knife to a Roomba. They had all of us put our names on balloons, and whoever's name was left over won $100.
Okay, can I come to the next Christmas because I love to win some cash? That sounds amazing. I've seen the one with the Roomba and the balloons. I haven't
Mhm.
seen the Saran Wrap and Hershey's. Did you play the one where you have to blow the candles by screaming "Merry Christmas" or "Happy Holidays" or something was
No, we did something similar to that last year. That one didn't make the cut for this year's round of games.
it's all really intense. I mean, you can only do a
Yeah.
few because it takes a lot out of you.
Well, speaking of viral, I also, like, was sick for most of it, and it's, like, sticking around, and listeners with acute hearing can probably hear a little bit of gravel in my voice because 'cause I'm still just getting over having a really bad cold for weeks and then laryngitis. But you know what? The Cozy Awards had to happen, so I'm here, we're recording, it's gonna be great, and I'm being helped out by my Char Brew tea. I don't know how much this costs because since we added this segment, I'm constantly looking for single servings of tea from any event that I go to or any place that I go to because I drink tea so slowly. I'm like, I just give me one. I just want one to try. I don't want to have a whole box of it laying around for my apartment because it will be there for years. This was from during the holidays. A coworker brought a bunch of this. I think it's from their Alice in Wonderland gift set. Like each little box of tea has like an Alice in Wonderland drawing with different flavors. And I just like grabbed a handful. And the one that I tried today was white orange spice. I loved it. It's actually way more spicy than orange. I don't know what the white orange is doing, to be quite honest with you. I know there's cardamom in it. I saw that on the box. It's a black tea, cinnamon as well, but mostly I'm getting the cardamom flavor. But it's a nice deep spice flavor. I enjoy it. There's a link in the show notes to both of our teas if you want to try them. And it's going to help get me through this recording.
That's what I was gonna say, the spice will warm things up, clear things out. I think the best teas have a little kick and spice to them. That's my preference, and I also think
Yeah.
you're a genius for grabbing the bags of tea because my cabinet is now overflowing with all these boxes of teas that, yeah, they're nice to try and drink once in a while, especially when I'm sick, but I'm not gonna go and hit up that cabinet up every night. So, I need to find some single serves. Maybe go to some events where I can pick one up, go cruising for some tea bags.
Just basically cruise hotel lobbies all over LA. Oh, there's that lady again. She's here to steal our tea.
I mean, my dad is notorious, but he goes way too far. He was in an airport lounge and he took a yogurt, and 2 days later, he opened it up in New York, and he said to my sister, like, "Hey, you want some of this yogurt?" She's like, "Dad, where'd you get that from?" "Oh, the airport lounge," and he had traveled 2 days ago. He
That's
is
horrific.
yeah, it is horrific, like, he takes salt and pepper, those little packets. I don't it must be some condition. I love him, but that's taking it too far. So maybe I can get some advice from him and find out where best cruising spots are for tea.
That's a great idea.
That sounds bad.
Well, from tea to tales of our time as Gunkles and Lance with our families back at home for the holidays, I think we're ready to ditch all of that behind and pop some bubbly. What do you think, Julian?
I think so too. I am ready to get tipsy on all these wonderful nominees.
Always look forward to the Cozy Awards. I love, first of all, the process behind it. So, this is your first award ceremony for All Things Cozy. Let us explain the process to you. So, the way this works is that Jillian and I, we gather all the cozy intel. We have our listeners write in with all the cozy things they watched, read, and listened to because two people can't catch all the cozy that happens in a calendar year. So, our listeners are our little elves, our little helpers, and then we also brainstorm everything we can think of and we add it to a massive list. And then Julian and I, as curators, go through and pick out what we thought were the five best in each category. And those categories are coziest news story, coziest TV show, coziest movie, coziest book, coziest song, and coziest all things cozy listener community contribution. We need to shorten that one up. And so we create the nominee list. That's our contribution as curators and hosts of this podcast. But then we release it right back to our listeners and they vote. Julian and I did not know who won these awards until today because voting just closed
Mhm.
yesterday as of this recording. So we're very excited to learn the winners ourselves. we I barely know them out
Couldn't
of
sleep
reading them
tonight.
out and also like sharing them. And what I love about this event too is really just taking a moment to look back and celebrate all those movies and TV shows, like we said, that really helped us stay cozy. A year can go by so fast. We might miss some things. And it's been a real joy, especially the book. With our book club, for example, we've consistently gone back and looked at what was the
Mhm.
coziest book that year, and we've read it with our book club, and they are really very often bangers. Listeners know what they're doing when they're voting on the books for sure. And so I really love this time to bring all these together. And listeners, check these out. If you haven't seen these movies, if you haven't heard these songs, don't just experience the winner. Go through the nominees and check them out because everything's high quality. We made sure of that. Jillian and I, our taste is impeccable.
And I would say the competition was steep this year in a few categories, and we almost had a lot of near ties in multiple categories.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
So people were passionate and really appreciated, I think, all the nominees. And I want to thank everyone for voting. We got more votes than we did last year, so that's pretty exciting.
I love to hear that. The more voices, the more confident I can be that this really was the coziest thing.
Yep, it's verified, certified.
Of the options that we gave you.
Right.
Julian, let's raise the curtain on the 8th annual Cozy Awards. Julian is here to read our first category, which is Coziest News Story.
That's right, Matt. We are celebrating the coziest headlines that warmed our hearts in 2024. The previous winners in this category are Bernie Sanders' inauguration mittens, A Man with a Dream and a Pumpkin Named Berta, Angriest Sea Otter in California is a New Mom. And the nominees are Inspirational Artist Transforms Hospital Rooms One View at a Time, Passenger Knits Beanie for Crying Baby on Flight, Volunteers unite to help toads cross the road in UK. Teacher and students reunite 46 years later for eclipse. Couple reunites with accidentally shipped pet cat. And the winner is Teacher and students reunite 46 years later for eclipse.
Yay,
Yay!
congratulations to that teacher and those students for reuniting.
I have to say, Matt, you really nailed it when you picked that news story. It was, what was it, April, I believe the eclipse was?
Sounds right to me. I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, we're very official here. But yeah, that was so sweet. Just the fact that they kept up that promise and they actually met because you have those things. They say, yeah, we'll do that. We'll see you in 46 years. And you're like, yeah, sure, I'll see you then. But they actually did it. And that's what's so cozy and sweet about it. That commitment.
Exactly. Whatever the opposite of a flake is, it's these people. They honor their commitments nearly 50 years later. It's incredible. This is where I also reveal my personal favorite that I was rooting for, and I was rooting for that shipped pet cat. I
That's a
was
cute
hoping they'd
one.
ship that pet cat right to a cozy award.
Yeah, the cat survived, but they didn't survive the awards. And but at least they're alive and they're with their owners. That's one of my biggest fears because cats do love boxes. and I could absolutely see myself zipping up Snickers or Reese's, but I don't know if they'd make it. They're not as hardcore as most cats are, they're big babies.
Well, if it's Reese's, she would also be vocal enough, she'd let you know.
That's
Get
true.
her out of there. And then Reese's would tear her way out because she has to eat every 5 minutes.
Yes, absolutely. I really love the story too, the one about the toads helping them cross the road. Sounds like a knock knock joke, but that was a good
Yeah.
one, Matt, that you also picked. I love my frogs, my toads, and once again, community coming together and supporting a good cause. Very sweet, very cozy, and just a wonderful sentiment. So, really a steep category here, but I think folks chose a good one.
Absolutely. A lot of cozy news in 2024, and it's
Mhm.
always good to remember all the good stuff that happens in the world.
Here, here.
But that shipped pet cat got eclipsed.
It did.
Pun intended. Our next category is Coziest TV Show of 2024. Previous winners in this category include Great British Bake Off, that won twice in a row, and then we soft banned it from this award
Yeah.
ceremony, lest it completely dominate the entire run of our show's existence. The Good Place, Schitt's Creek, Ted Lasso, All Creatures Great and Small. And then last year, we had a very exciting tie. Somebody Somewhere and The Gilded Age both won for Coziest TV Show of 2023. And the nominees for 2024 are My Life is Murder, Season 4, Heartstopper, Season 3, Hacks, Season 3, The Golden Bachelorette, and John Mulaney presents Everybody's in LA. And the winner is Heartstopper Season 3.
This is more ammo for me to watch it because I still have it despite all the cries from the cozy.
They've been crying out, "Watch
Mm.
Heartstopper.
Yeah, nonstop.
Drop everything, watch Heartstopper." I think this is a very well-deserved win. This is a very cozy show, and I'm glad to see it take its place among the pantheon of the coziest of the cozy. Very well-deserved win here. I also really Hacks is just such a wonderful show, and it just keeps getting better and better. Highly recommend checking that out if you haven't watched that. I also really want to shout out here that Jillian and I live in LA, so of course we were more tuned in to the John Mulaney Presents Everybody's in LA, and it was such an LA thing. But he really gets the vibe of the city. That show made LA feel like a small community of people who are all talking about the same stuff and noticing the same things around town. And that was such a cozy feeling to feel like John Mulaney and this expert on palm trees
Yeah.
and what have you, because we're all Angelinos, we're all experiencing the same stuff. And that was a very cozy show. I really enjoyed that.
I agree, and it's also very wacky and
Yeah.
zany, and I love that feel because if you aren't familiar with LA or just not used to that kind of format where there really is no rhyme or reason for anything, you probably tune in and say, "What is this?" But I enjoyed that element of it, and to your point, Matt, yeah, I mean, who's talking about coyotes all day except for us? I agree with everything you said, especially the Heartstoppers. It has its place, and I think it's a very important show, and it won by a landslide. It beat out all the other nominees by a mile, which I thought was impressive because we typically don't have a blowout. I would say either maybe it's like trending toward a blow up, but not fully, or it's closer to a tie. But big round of applause for this Heartstopper. And maybe I'll watch an episode. I didn't mean that as sarcastically as that came out. I'm in my presenter voice.
Now that you have your presenter voice on, take the podium, Julian.
I just want to also give a quick shout out to the Golden Bachelorette. I know the franchise of The Bachelor and Bachelorette don't always have great reviews. Understandably so, it's pretty problematic, but the Golden Bachelorette, such sweet older gentlemen on that show, and they warmed my heart. And my partner is not really into that kind of stuff. Loved it. We tuned in every week. I downloaded, I think, Philo, and then I forgot to cancel the charge so I could watch it live, and so I called the credit card company, and so I got it reversed. So just typical ADD stuff. That's how dedicated I was to The Golden Bachelorette. I tip my hat to that show. But now let's move on from the TV shows. As Matt said, we are going to the longer format of movies. So let's turn on the big screen for the coziest movie of 2024. Previous winners in this category include The Big Sick, Paddington 2, Downton Abbey, Soul, Single All the Way, Hocus Pocus 2, and Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. And the nominees are That Christmas, My Old Ass, The Wild Robot, A Real Pain, Problemista. And the winner is That Christmas.
Yay,
Ho, ho,
congratulations to
ho.
That Christmas. Ho, 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 indeed. I watched That Christmas this Christmas, and found it to be such a cozy and cute animated movie. Really warmed my heart this holiday season.
Yeah, I didn't know the writer of Love Actually penned That Christmas.
No wonder it's an automatic classic.
Yeah, very sweet and cute, and the animation, so cozy. Fairy lights everywhere you look. The town of Wellington was so well constructed. It was beautiful.
100%, yes. I have to confess, I did feel this year that it was hard to find cozy movies. Really, we didn't have to do much winnowing because when I reflect back to the Gillian and Matt showdown to get to the nominees for coziest movie, listeners who wanted to see Wicked and Twisters on this list, your champion was Gillian. And I said, I loved Wicked, by the way. I really loved Wicked. I thought that they did such an amazing job. I say that as somebody who saw the live musical and didn't care for it, but I loved the movie Wicked. And I did not see Twisters, but
Matt.
I know enough to know
No, you okay,
it
now
can't be
this make
cozy.
I didn't know you didn't see it. I thought you were just vehemently against it. I didn't know you actually didn't sit your butt down in that theater and enjoy the summer blockbuster of our lives.
Was Twisters the snub of the season?
For me, I had the best time of my life, and maybe it was the wine that they served in the theater.
It might have been. I've heard it's a really fun movie,
It's
but was it
fun.
cozy?
Okay,
See, to me,
it's
like
fine.
cozy movies, they really bring you someplace that feels intimate and warm and fuzzy, or at least something like it's really connecting to a core emotion. And again, loved Wicked, but that movie is huge. That movie is an epic. And when I feel cozy, I want to be watching that Christmas. I want to be watching My Old Ass,
I hear
which was
you.
such a cozy movie, by the way. If you
Mhm.
want to spend 2 hours on a lake hanging out and thinking about life, you wanna see that movie.
Oh, yeah.
That's on Amazon, it's great. A Real Pain, really moving movie. It gets to a cozy place, but it's also can be quite a pain in the process. Cozy doesn't mean that it's 100% like we're by a fireplace the entire running time. And Problemista has a truly awe-inspiring performance by Tilda Swinton in it that you simply must see. Have you ever known somebody who aggressively just doesn't get technology? This movie is for you. But also, it really captures the struggle of immigrants to the United States and finding work and also just working with people who are impossible, but still finding a way to seeing them as people and connecting with them as human beings. And I thought that was, again, it's a smaller film you might not have heard of, but it's really beautiful.
To your point, maybe that's how I have to look at the list going forward. It's really just like the core of the movie and does it inspire those cozy feelings? Because sometimes I think I get wrapped up in the experience of a movie, and I didn't see Wicked, and be quite honest, I never will because I don't want. I just sounds it's like, too much, too emotional. Like, I can't. I get wrapped up too much in movies these days.
I think you might like it, Jillian, truly.
Oh, I don't
You'll get swept away in
I
Glinda's
don't I
bubble.
don't
That's what I think.
it's so weird, Matt, because I can not that I enjoy seeing horrific things or anything, whatever, but it's the smaller stuff. Bullying in movies really upsets me. I don't know what
Mm.
it is.
No wonder you haven't watched Heartstopper.
Oh, no. Is that full of bullying?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. Yeah, no, then I'm never watching it, I'm
Especially the
sorry.
first season.
Okay. I don't know what it is. And with an E, that was more physical abuse, not for going down in a cozy path. But for some reason, as I got older, I just can't tolerate it. And I know that sounds silly, but yeah, I don't love the story enough to sit through it. But the community, it seemed everyone was having so much fun and singing, getting excited and dressing up. So that's what I was leaning into the cozy aspect of it. And then with
Mhm. That's very
Twisters,
true, yeah.
yeah, Twisters, I just was like, wow, this is so fun.
Jillian, I really see where you're coming from. I think those are both really cozy movie-going
Right.
experiences. Like, the process of seeing that movie, coming together with fans, coming together with action movie lovers like yourself, that is very cozy. And so, I agree with you, like, those experiences are wonderful, and there's just something about a good popcorn movie that gets your butt in a seat and keeps you wildly entertained.
And I have to say, my old ass, I wanna be a cranberry farmer. I bet it's insanely
Oh,
hard,
yes. Yeah.
but give me those cranberries.
But congratulations to that
Yes.
Christmas, a very cozy movie. Jillian, turn that projector off and crack open a book. That's right, it's time for our coziest book of 2024. Previous winners in this category include Lincoln and the Bardo, Yule Log Murder, Mrs. Morris and the Ghost, Mrs. Morris and the Witch, I'll Be Home for Christmas Movies, Kitchen Witch, and Midnight at the Christmas Bookshop. And the nominees for coziest book of 2024 are The Bookshop, The History of the American Bookstore by Evan Friss. Be Ready When the Luck Happens by Ina Garten. How to Solve Your Own Murder by Kristen Perrin. Witches Run Amok The Oral History of Hocus Pocus by Shannon Carlin. The Backyard Bird Chronicles by Amy Tan. And the winner is The Bookshop, The History of the American Bookstore by Evan Friss.
Hey,
2 bookmarks up.
I like that. This was our tightest competition. I didn't know. It was neck and neck. I wasn't sure who was gonna make it out alive.
I do think that of the categories, this was the most packed.
Mhm.
I look at this list and I'm like, "Oh, yeah," and I can think of 3 more books that were cozy this year. This was a tough category to even get into. Even the nominees should be honored that they made it.
Yes. And we're not biased by the book that we're actually in.
I am definitely biased by that. Yeah, if you didn't know, we are interviewed in Witches Run Amok, the oral history of Hocus Pocus. So if you want to hear us cozy bozos talking about one of the greatest Halloween movies of all time, Hocus Pocus, check that one out.
Yeah.
It was a great year for cozy literature. Not a great year for cozy movies, but a wonderful year for cozy literature.
Yeah, my favorite, I think, How to Solve Your Own Murder. I really enjoyed that one.
And also, patrons who are in our book club, you'll be looking forward to probably reading the bookshop at some point in the
Mm.
next year.
Yes, that I haven't read that one yet, and now I'm inspired, and that's a great thing about this award show too. It inspires me to get into things I otherwise may not have heard of, and so I generally take the recommendations seriously, and I can't wait to read that. Let's turn a page on this category and turn up the volume on Coziest Song of 2024. Previous winners: New York by St. Vincent, Shallow by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, Still on My Mind, Dido, I Remember Everything, John Prine, Christmas Isn't Cancelled, Just You by Kelly Clarkson, Softly by Arlo Parks, and A Little Bit of Love by Weezer, I Like Christmas by Cher, and Holiday House by Beach House, which was a tie. And the nominees are The Cozy Song by Dan and Shay, Right Back to It by Waxahachie and MJ Lenderman, So High School by Taylor Swift, Dance You Out of My Head, Kat Janis, and Deeper Well by Casey Musgraves. And the winner is Deeper Well by Casey Musgraves. Yay.
It's a great song. Check it out. All these songs are linked on our show notes. Deeper Well is a really cozy song. I really loved Right Back to It by Waxahachie and MJ Lenderman. I've been getting really into MJ Lenderman's solo record that came out this year as well. I really like that southern rock sound that he's bringing back.
Yeah, and the music video for that was so cozy too. They're on a boat just languidly going through a swamp, and that was
Mhm.
really lovely.
Definitely. Before we bring the curtain down on the 8th Annual Cozy Awards, we do have one more award to give out, and that is our favorite to give out because it's about you, our cozy listeners. And so this category is Coziest Community Member Contribution of 2024. In this rebranding of this category, because it used to be just Coziest Listener, but then we made it so that you had to contribute something.
Yes.
Because we have a lot of cozy listeners. You're all cozy. So we really looked at who was really engaging in the community on our Facebook group, in our Instagram comments, or anywhere that you can find this podcast and engage with it. We always take note of those people who really not just bring the coziness, but really involve others in that cozy vibe. So previous winners were A Cozy Space to Write, which was a post by Mary Rickert on our Facebook group, and Bill Adair, The Cozy Wind Beneath Our Wings, for all the coziness that he contributes to our Facebook group and social media platforms in general. And of course, our book club meetings. Whenever he's there, it's extra cozy. But now let's talk about our cozy listeners and their contributions of 2024. The nominees are Ollie March's Cozy Christmas Movies thread on Facebook, on our Facebook group. Very cozy, a lot of activity, more activity than I get when I post in our Facebook group. Let's talk about that. Rochelle Faith's Autumn Bucket List, also posted on Facebook. These are all on Facebook, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Steve Sizer's Cozy Fall Decor. Alexandra Konigsberg's Cozy Craft. And Alexandra, I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your last name. I know the struggle. And Juliet Pecot's Holiday Knitwear Booth. And Juliet, I also apologize to you if I mispronounce your last name. But thank you all for your cozy contributions. But there can only be one winner. And the cozies have voted. And the winner is Rochelle Faith's Autumn Bucket List post.
Congrats, Rochelle. I love this post because it got people talking, and that's what we were looking for when we were considering who we make our list of nominees. And that really inspired folks to share their favorite autumn activities. And then at the end of it, we had a wonderful list. So it's not that Rochelle created an autumn bucket list. She got the conversation going and asked for suggestions, which is what we love to see in the group, just starting cozy convos. And I think Rochelle did a great job with that, as did a lot of folks in this list.
Yes, absolutely. We're grateful for everybody who contributes to this cozy community that really you all create through your engagement and activity as you talk to each other. That's really my favorite part of our Facebook group or even the Instagram comments or other ways that you engage with the podcast. Those connections that you make, not just with the show or with us, but with each other. Also, by the way, you are all way cozier than we are. We should be shipping these microphones out to these people. But thank you all for keeping the community alive. And also, I really encourage you if you are not on our Facebook group or you don't follow us on Instagram, you're missing out on a lot of extra coziness that comes about because of really amazing people who have the most amazing home decor and ideas like we have here an autumn bucket list and engaging you to come up with ideas around that. I looked at that cozy Christmas movies thread and I was inspired to watch a couple movies that I hadn't seen. So we're all the more cozier for having each other in this all things cozy community.
Very well said. We inspire each other.
And on that inspirational message, we are closing the curtain on the All Things Cozy Awards, the 8th annual Cozy Awards, looking back on 2024. Keep your eyes peeled, your ears open for the coziest of 2025, and we'll probably be back here next year yakking about that.
Yeah, I'm always sad to see the cozy awards go. They come and leave in a flash, but it's one of my favorite episodes. I love doing it. It's just always so fun from start to finish, curating it to seeing the votes and just being surprised sometimes by how it ends up. It's truly
Mhm.
exciting. You never know where it's going to end. And yeah, just giving everyone the love that they deserve. I'm sad it's over.
Me too. And we hope that you enjoy, as much as we do, taking a retrospective look at all the cozy stuff that you can engage with in a year and keep a little short list just if you want to look back at the years. It's been a really great time capsule, actually, like
Mhm.
looking back on all the TV shows and movies that really kept us cozy over these last 8 years.
Oh my god. Yeah, every time we do this, we have to change the year or the number of the award season, and every time it hits me, I'm like, "Wow, we're almost on a decade," which is very
Yeah,
impressive and exciting.
very exciting. Well, from inspirational All Things Cozy community members to some inspiring words, here are our words of warmth. Jillian, what words are warming you into the new year?
I'm gonna laugh as I say this because the author isn't cozy, nor is the book it's from. It's Herman Melville's Moby Dick. And the quote is, "I know not all that may be coming, but be it what it will, I'll go to it laughing." And I think this is very appropriate for us getting sick over the holidays. Sometimes all you have to do is laugh, and all the things that are coming ahead, I know we often feel worried about, and I know that I ruminate on things, but how I get through it is to just chuckle my fears away. And so sometimes that's all that you can do is just have that attitude of, yep, what will be and what will come, and we'll just have to deal with it as it happens. And so that's what's giving me comfort at this time.
Definitely. I love this quote, actually. And I think it really is a great energy to go into anything that's unknown, whether that be a new year or a new experience, just to keep your sense of humor and that lightness, keep that
Mhm.
lightness with you. Don't let things weigh you down that don't need to.
But what's keeping you light? Your words of warmth.
This quote is by an author named Rebecca Searle, and I picked it because it's about looking back. Rebecca wrote, "That's the funny thing about time. It is only in looking back that it's easy to connect the dots, to see exactly why everything needed to happen the way that it did." This quote resonated with me because as this episode is a retrospective one where we're looking back on a whole year of stuff, and when I was trying to find quotes about looking back and they're all so negative about, "I don't look back, I only look forward. Looking back is taking me down." And I understand the sentiment, right? Which is you wanna always look forward and keep evolving, keep changing, keep getting better. That's all great. But I also think there's something so nice about looking back and seeing the pattern and seeing the way that things come together that can be so informative for your future because you both see the way that you act, the way that you move things around you, the way that other people impact you and change your life. And in this case, even just the things that inspire you, whether it was a song you listened to, a movie you watched, a book you read, the things that help make you who you were this year. And I don't think looking back always has to be like a negative thing, like you're stuck in the past. It can be also that you are celebrating the stuff that made you who you are and what made your past or your year or whatever positive and good. And I think that's what the awards are for. Is it's not just about awarding the winners because really we don't give anything out and no one knows they won, but it's really about celebrating all these things that can help us stay cozy. And so I think there's some real benefit to looking back.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I love the past, the good parts, the bad parts, all the parts. I think about the past all the time. It's so neat to see how far you've come in various ways, and even thinking about how far we've come with this group and all the friendships that we've made and all the funny moments and all the moments that were a little bit trying because it's not easy always doing creative stuff. Yeah, I am with you, Matt. I think it's great to look ahead. It's wonderful if you wanna keep a fresh perspective, but don't lose sight of the past. I love that sentiment. I'm with you.
We don't have to just look back at the past, we can smell it too. Because this is the only award show on the face of this planet that I am aware of that also includes a candle review. Jillian has the candle this week. Jillian has been, by the way, the MVP of candles. I think this is your third episode in with having the candle. So I will get the candle next time, Jillian. But we have a very fresh scent for you today.
Yeah, and you could say this is inspired by the recent snowstorms we've been having because the the scent is fresh snow. And those of you who are piled under the snow are like, "Really? I have to hear a candle review about snow?" But this one's a good one. It's from the company Hand in Hand, and you might have seen it in your local Whole Foods. And I've always wondered about these candles, these little tin jars. It's a 3-ounce jar. It's for 7.99. Always been curious, and I noticed that they were doing these limited edition batches, and I bet if you go into the store, you'll still find them. It's not on their website anymore, but something to keep in mind, whether it's spring, fall, they do them for all the seasons, and I love them. And this is really a wonderful scent, and it has a massive throw. So it's a tiny little 3-ounce jar, but it extends so far out, it can fill the entire room up. So that's why I love it. The scent is white jasmine and birch. It smells as if you wanted your laundry to smell like snow. That sounds strange, but if Downy made a scent that was snow, it smells like that. It's a very comforting scent. I can smell the white jasmine a bit more.
So do you think it smells like linen-y?
It does have a linen-y scent, but I wouldn't write it off as a linen scent. It's hard to describe, and I'm not doing it justice.
No, and you're describing the complexity. Maybe it goes a little bit too into that fresh. They interpreted fresh as detergenty.
It has a little bit of a detergency scent, but I would say it also has this scent that is not overwhelming where it give you a headache. It's not a sweet detergenty smell. And this is a candle that I'm sad to see end. And I'm very against candles that are too cloying and sweet. This definitely is a candle that I want to burn every night. And I've been burning it for the past few nights. Yeah, I think it's wonderful. Every single candle I've gotten from this company has been a hit. They're limited edition candles. And so also for this holiday season, they made mulled berry and a peppermint stick. So 3 cents, including fresh snow. And then for every candle purchased, they donate 1 bar of soap and clean water to a child in need. So that's pretty cool. They also do lotions and obviously soaps goes hand in hand, washing your hands. And so I think they're venturing out into candles. I'm looking forward to they have on their website right now, Island Mimosa, which sounds pretty good if you wanna escape the snow and get out of that cold season. The scent is fresh coconut and mango leaf. Let me know if you see this scent on the shelves because I'm curious how long they keep their limited edition candles out. But I love this one. So it's a wick up for me.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
What a fresh way to start the new
Yeah.
year. Before we go, we have some credits to roll on this award show, and those are our shout outs. Jillian, who are we shouting out this week?
Bianca P. and Stephanie C., who joined our Patreon, thank you so much. Like I said, every new patron I get puts a pep in my step and a literal step in my step because I get to walk to the mailbox. So you're keeping me active and healthy and getting my exercise in. But in all seriousness, it's really wonderful to have folks support the show in that way because we have candles to buy, and Matt does a whole wonderful spiel about why you should join the Patreon. But it's also really fun sending out our magnets and our stickers. And this past season, we did a holiday gift, which is really cool. Which reminds me, if by January 15th, you don't receive your holiday gift, if you're an active member of Patreon, just send me a message or hit up our email and I'll rectify that.
Wonderful. Thank you, Bianca and Stephanie, for your support. And thank you to everyone who supports our show on Patreon. You too can be a member of the All Things Cozy podcast Patreon by going to patreon.com/all things cozy. Gillian, I'm curious from you. The people hear my spiel every week about Patreon and what we're doing, or not every week, but I think we do it like once in a while. It's a brand new year. Someone who's on the fence, right? Maybe one of their New Year's resolution was, I want to support independent creators that I enjoy. Why should someone join our Patreon?
I think just in a superficial level, we have a really adorable magnet and sticker. It's our mascot, and it's adorable, and you can use that merch and put it on your laptop or whatever you use stickers for. And then on a larger scale, it opens you up to a bigger community of cozy folks. So if you are at our votive or pillar level, you can join our book club, and that is just the most fun time ever. And we have developed true, genuine friendships, and I think the other members enjoy seeing one another, and it's just something that we all look forward to every month. But as a show, there aren't a lot of shows, not to toot our own horn, that are creating such a comforting, safe, and encouraging space out there. And I think we all need a break from the noise out there, and our show does that. And we are both full-time employees and we work really hard. And so to put our energy into the show shows how much we care about it and how much we care about all of you. And so when you support us, I think you're giving us that love back, and it's just a circle of love round and round.
That was beautifully said. And of course, if you're not in a position right now for a financial contribution via Patreon to show your support, you can always show your support to our show in lots of other ways. Chief among them is to review our show wherever you listen to podcasts, whether that's on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Leaving those star reviews or typing in something, it just helps the visibility of the show. So if you haven't had a chance to do that, take 5 minutes out of your day and review our show wherever you listen to it, and that will help other people join in on the coziness. We hope you all are having a wonderful and very happy new year as we dive into 2025. We hope you enjoyed our Cozy Awards, looking back on the best of 2024. But we are looking forward in our next episode, to sound like one of those quotes that tells us all that we should never look back, because our next episode is the one where Julian and I predict what will be the cozy trends of 2025. So if you want to hear us stumble in the dark and try to guess what cozy trends will keep us warm and snuggly in 2025, you better tune in to our next episode. We will be prognosticating back in your ears in another couple of weeks. Until next time,
Stay cozy.